Good morning, Flagler County. I'm Rich Carroll. You're listening to Flagler's Morning News on Monday, January 10th, and this local news is a service of Flagler County's Toyota dealer, Beaver Toyota, here to wow you. The Omicron variant is surging in Florida. While the strain is milder than other variants, Flagler County Health Officer Bob Snyder says it's definitely more contagious.
There's this big gap now between cases and hospitalizations and deaths. But I tell you, we definitely broke a record, Flagler County, as has the state and the nation this past week. So 1,166 positive cases that we know of for Omicron in our community. And that compares to 79 cases total for the week just 4 weeks ago.
And those figures don't include the number of people taking at-home COVID-19 tests and then see positive results. Wally DeCino, Chief Operating Officer for Advent Health Palm Coast, says the emergency room is feeling a bit strained as it deals with both COVID and the flu. About 22 patients are hospitalized right now with COVID, and they do have room for more. But DeCino reminds you the emergency room is not a place you should go to get a COVID test.
We have a lot of patients showing up so they can get tested. Some, they don't have any symptoms, and you're going to get a much higher bill as well. Definitely come if you're very sick and you're feeling ill. Definitely come and we'll take care of you.
COVID-19 testing is happening tomorrow through Friday for free across from the Flagler Executive Airport. Flagler County Commissioners get their committee assignments for the new year. Karen Johnson has details.
According to Flagler County Commissioner Dave Sullivan, committee assignments to these important boards provide Flagler County Commissioners with community input, expertise, and diverse viewpoints that help the Board of County Commissioners make informed decisions.
These committee assignments are really some of the most important things that we do as commissioners. We split these committees up against the various board members, and actually most of our assignments go for 2 years.
One of the committees involves elections.
I'm the lead on the canvassing board. For our elections that'll be coming up this year, important elections, I'll be working with the supervisor of elections, one of our judges, and myself. The three of us sit on the canvassing board, and we go over the election results and absentee ballots and fix problems, and it's an important assignment. One of the more important things you can do is to make sure our elections are run fairly and we get good vote counts. So that's very important.
Commissioner Sullivan will also serve on the Flagler County Tourist Development Council.
And that's important because the bed tax that we get for people for each night a person stays here, we get 5% of that revenue. That revenue is used for a lot of good things, to promote tourism in our county, of course, bring in business, fix the beaches, and do some capital improvement projects. It's very important, and especially with COVID, we've done very well. Our tourist development group in the council has actually increased our revenues.
Other committees include the Early Learning Coalition of Flagler and Volusia County, Flagler County Library Board of Trustees, Public Safety Coordinating Council, and the Workforce Development Board of Flagler and Volusia County. For Flagler's Morning News, I'm Karen Johnson.
A poster exhibition is open at a local organization that's newly designated as a Smithsonian host site. Rich Petchke reports.
The exhibition at the African American Cultural Society Incorporated is called the National Museum of African American History and Culture, a place for all people. Scholar and historian Dr. Kitty Oliver will give a presentation today at 6 p.m.
My presentation is all about reminding us that the story of African American history and culture is an inclusive story that involves all of us because it's a part of the human story. And I get the chance to share people talking about this issue of race, talking about it from many different perspectives. I'd like to tell the Palm Coast community that this is a presentation where voices across cultures and generations are going to be featured. You'll have an opportunity to hear some of your story told, as well as hear the stories of people whose lives you may have not interacted with yet. And we're also going to create an environment that is entertaining as well as thought-provoking and uplifting.
Dr. Oliver says it's important that these exhibitions are presented in communities large and small.
Going to the smaller communities is a way of bringing us all into the conversation and reminding us of how we're all in this together. So I'm so honored to be invited to share some of the work I've been doing in so many other places with Palm Coast.
Doors open for tonight's presentation at 5 p.m. The exhibit runs through February 27th. For Flagler's Morning News, I'm Rich Petchke.
A Palm Coast man who wanted to collect donated supplies and drive a truckload full of them to Mayfield, Kentucky residents recovering from a tornado sees his plans pivot. Amy Cherry has more.
Patrick D. tells WNZF that 85% of what he collected was clothing, but FEMA won't accept anything but new clothes. So he divvied out his donations locally instead.
Taking the food to the Grace Community Food Bank, to Emmanuel's Closet, Salvation Army, accepted all the food that we had and was glad to get it. We contacted the Salvation Army in Daytona Beach, and they are going to take the total that I have left. They said they would accept everything because they have had some fires down there and some people that have been displaced from their houses.
Dee says divine intervention led him to this point.
God wanted me to help them, and if I couldn't help them, he found a way for me to help somebody else.
From the WNZF Newsroom, I'm Amy Cherry.
Flagler Beach's city manager William Whitson says there's a lot to look forward to in Flagler Beach in 2022.
William Whitson started as Flagler Beach city manager in May and knows what's happening. He said that this month's First Friday was a success, as was last month's Snow and Music. It was a spectacular, but there's more. Like the new hotel.
Well, they have to finish the review process. They're wrapping up the traffic analysis, parking report, and things like that. So the planning board will take one more look at it, and it'll go to the commission. And I would suspect sometime this summer we'll see some dirt flying.
Whitson said the hotel will be a Margaritaville under the Compass brand of hotels. He said that the hotel will be a positive addition to the city. The business report is on the radio on Saturday mornings at 10 and anytime on the Flagler radio app. Tomorrow, Whitson says business in the city has been off the charts. From the WNZF Newsroom, I'm Deb Albertson.
And now you're up to date on Flagler's Morning News. I'm Rich Carroll.